The Packers are making the right moves at the right time. What do I mean by that? I'm going to break that down for you guys here in this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please help show your support by taking a second, hitting that subscribe button. Okay, so let's jump into it. What do I mean by the Packers are making the right moves at the right time? Well, you take a look at good organizations, winning organizations, championship style organizations. It gets done at the top in the GM position, and then the head coach like the New England Patriots, who did it under Bill Belichick all those years, like the Kansas City Chiefs, who are currently doing it under general manager Brett Veach and head coach Andy Reid. You even take a look at a poorly run organization for so many years. They bring in a good GM in Brad Holmes, the Detroit Lions I'm talking about. Brad Holmes is brought into Detroit, who brings in Dan Campbell, and all of a sudden the culture has shifted in Detroit. They start believing in themselves. They start winning games. Now, don't get me wrong. The Packers have had a great run organization for so many years, but things seem to be shifting in Green Bay. What do I mean by that? Well, Brian Gutekunst seems to be evolving as a general manager. Now, I think this dude has done it very well through the draft, building our roster through the draft like he has. Now, some of you may disagree with me, but name me a general manager that hits a home run every draft pick. It's not, you won't ever find it. Let me just help you out there. Brian Gutekunst, I feel, has done a great job building through the draft, but also building through free agency. Like this year, he goes and signs a couple of bigger name players, something he's not known for doing, going and getting a guy like Xavier McKinney, going and getting a guy like Josh Jacobs. So you take a look at organizations that win championships. They do it with a good run game, a good passing game, a good defense, a good head coach. That's exactly what the Packers are doing. Again, making the right moves at the right time, bringing in Matt LaFleur, who is a brilliant offensive minded guy, bringing in a guy like Josh Jacobs, who you see what the results of that are. Well, let's take a look at how good and how successful the Packers run game is. Well, they're ranked number 2 right now in the league. When's the last time you've been able to say that as a Packer fan that the Packers have had such a successful run game? Rated number 2 right now in the league in rushing yards, and then yards per carry. The Packers are number 5 on that list at 5.1 yards. Now, again, Josh Jacobs, not all to attribute to that. The Packers, obviously, Emmanuel Wilson has been a beneficiary to the success on the run game. But Brian Gutekunst going and signing Marshawn Lloyd. Now, this dude has been injured, so we haven't quite seen what this dude is capable of doing. But we know that the potential is there for Marshawn Lloyd. And when you start talking about championship style rosters out there, the Packers have got a great run support cast there. Now, I know I'm putting the cart before the horse and saying that Marshawn Lloyd is going to help out Emmanuel Wilson and Josh Jacobs, but I think he is going to be a successful running back in Green Bay. And I know that he's going to be coming back really soon. Matt LaFleur just tipped us off on that. But Josh Jacobs, again, this dude is one of those guys that if need be, if you need to turn to him and say, hey, listen, we're going to be giving you the ball a ton, go and win us a game like he did week 2. He's one of those guys that you can go and do that. Okay. So that is one guy. That's one facet of the game. So a good run game opens up the passing game. Well, the Packers have Jordan Love. Of course, you can take a look at what Brian Gutekunst did, drafting him when he did, and then going and signing him to a ton of money, which some people think we've overpaid for this dude, but I don't think so. I think Jordan Love is legit. I think he's starting to play like he did the latter half of last year. Just how good did he play? Well, over the last 8 games of the season last year, he was completing over 70% of his passes. He had 2150 yards passing, 18 touchdowns, 1 interception, and a passer rating of nearly 113. This is a dude that if you've got a good run game, he's only going to get better. Same thing. A good pass game is going to open up the run game. So the Packers have a recipe for a ton of success. Of course, Matt LaFleur is behind some of the game planning there, but then you go look at Matt LaFleur bringing in a defensive coordinator in Jeff Hafley. You see the outcome of what a good defensive coordinator can do for a team. Of course, you've heard defense wins championships. Well, the Packers have got a great offense. They've got a good defense, great talent there. The Packers general manager, Brian, are bringing in Xavier McKinney. Xavier McKinney, you see what that dude is capable of doing, leading the league in interceptions. The Packers leading the league in takeaways, and the Packers Brian Gutekunst drafting Evan Williams, who's the highest PFF score out there. This is the highest rated duo of safeties out there in Xavier McKinney and Evan Williams. And then Gutekunst using a seventh round draft pick to go and get Malik Willis. Malik Willis needed to be looked to as early as week 2. He goes and wins us week 2 and week 3. The Packers stay afloat before Jordan Love returns, and the rest is going to be history. I think the Packers are building a championship style caliber football team in Green Bay. Leave your comments. Let me know what your thoughts are. But I think the Packers making the right moves at the right time, getting the right pieces in place to win a championship and hopefully championship style football for years to come. Leave your comments. Let me know what you guys think. And as always, go Pack Go.